In this video, I will show you how to add an email collection bar like this one to your Wix website. And as many marketers will tell you, email subscribers, like email marketing, is one of the most profitable marketing channels out there. So by turning more visitors into email subscribers, you should see nice increases in results for your actual business, for your actual Wix website. So let's head down to the Wix Ad Market and type in Pekka email collection bar. Click the app, add to site. I will add this to this site. Your site will of course be different. Agree and add. Wait for the app to install. And wait for the dashboard to load. Now for you, you will probably have to upgrade your plan at some point in this process to the right one for your needs. Now I already have the most premium plan, so I can show all the features in this demo. So yeah, let's start editing the things. Most important setting, turn on collection bar or not. If this is turned off, there will like the email collection bars will not show on your website. In the beginning, this is helpful because when you're tinkering with the design and stuff, you don't want to show the email collection bar to visitors. So we keep this off for now, but we need to keep it in mind at the end to make sure the bar actually shows. So we add our first email collection bar, and then we can see these are the default settings. Of course, you want to modify this for your website, and let's go through all the settings real quick. Project name is basically like your internal name for the email collection bar, and this can be helpful for your own reference. For example, test 1 marketing tips bar. And so yeah, this is basically to tell yourself, oh yeah, it's this one bar where I did this one thing with this one opt-in. And this one looks simple, but is actually very important. So when a visitor submits their email in the email collection bar, the contact gets created in your Wix backend. And with this email label or tag, however you want to call it. And this is important because let's say you promise someone a marketing tips list, then you need to deliver that marketing tips list. And how do you do this? Well, by making sure you know what emails need the marketing tips list and which ones need like another type of opt-in or stuff like that. And also, you can use this email label and tag to keep track of conversions for different email collection bars, like which bars are visitors interested in the most compared to then like the page views. Then we have the email collection bar stats. Of course, this is a new email collection bar, so this will have zero submissions, 0 user sessions, and no conversion rates. Then visual settings, background color, of course, you can change it up. Okay, red. You could change the text color, but for me, I'll prefer like this white color on the red. Then you can modify the message. So for example, instead of get our 5-bullet conversion rate checklist is 5-bullet marketing tips checklist. And then the message font size, of course, if you have like an older audience or stuff, you want to make the text maybe a bit more readable. And there's also like a certain personal preference and website design involved. And then we have some spacing settings. So for example, you want to make the bar higher, then you could do this, but of course it's not so pretty, so we do just like 15 or something. Horizontal spacing also relevant for like mobile mostly, and then yeah. This is basically like a bunch of spacing. You want to test it a bit to see which one you prefer in terms of visuals, and ultimately test whether it maybe increases or decreases conversion rates. Sticky email collection bar is automatically turned on, and what this means is that if visitors scroll down now, the email collection bar will stay visible on screen at the top of the page, and if you turn this off, the bar will get left behind when visitors scroll down. Now, let's say you have many other email opt-ins on the rest of your page, then you could decide to turn off the sticky email collection bar to make the page a bit less cluttered, I guess. But ultimately, this is something you would want to test in terms of conversion rates. For now, I'm going to leave it at sticky. Custom font, so the email collection bar will use the default store font by default. And if you want to change this, then you could enter a custom font, but for this demo, I will stick to the default one. Email form text, enter your email. You could say something like enter your best email, and then track whether people actually like insert their better email, not their spam email, and the like open rates of your first email are bigger or not. That's something you want to test, and I do see it happening that this kind of influences like the results for your website. So if you have the time and the visitor count to make it worth it, you want to test this. But if you don't have that many visitors, it probably won't be worth your time yet. Spacing around font text, for example, oh, you want like a bigger box, then you can do this. Form border rounding, like if you want rounder borders, then you can do this. Form background color, you could like give it a different color. I'm going to leave it at white for now. How wide the form is, like okay, 350 pixels. Button text submit probably isn't very good for conversion rates, probably something like get your checklist. And then we see the button goes onto 2 lines, and we probably don't want this. Like I don't like the look of it, so we do like 110, no, 120, 130, 40, and we have a flatter button. And then of course all kinds of like settings behind it. Yeah, horizontal space around text, so then we need to do this. Okay, and so now the button is kind of longer in a horizontal way, so yeah. Extra margin to the right, so depending on the layout of your website and like the content of the email collection bar, it can look better if the content is a bit more positioned to the left or not. So for example, we can give this 5 and then it moves more to the middle. I actually prefer the 5 now over the 70, so I'm going to leave it at this. Then when a visitor submits their email, there's like a brief loading period where the email gets submitted to your Wix website. And so, yeah, there's some loading text. You can keep it as is if you want. You can modify the text size. Probably won't be super important since it loads pretty quickly, but yeah, something you can modify again. The successful submission message. So yeah, what are you going to tell the customers once they have successfully submitted their email? So for example, example at gmail.com. Then we see this message. Now this is probably also like not the most powerful in terms of conversion. Probably something like get your checklists. So yeah, just like telling them what to do, this will probably like increase conversions because then there's like a slightly higher chance they go open the email right now instead of like getting it buried with all their other opt-ins that they're gathering. So yeah, you probably want to make sure this message is on point in terms of copy. And then if something errors or the people like enter something weird, then it will of course give an error message. So for example, if I do like hi, I'm nuts, then it will error, something went wrong, please try again later, and you can again like edit the message that shows to whatever you want. You could make it like a red message or like something, whatever you want. And so yeah, this is all editable. Then GDPR settings. So in Europe, you might need to add like a tick box like subscribe to emails to officially confirm that people are subscribing to your email lists. Yeah, that's something you need to see, like what the rules in your locality like require, but it's possible to add. So if you want, you can edit whatever shows, but to like activate the setting for your bar, you have to do it in the main dashboard. And so when you go to the main dashboard, it's important to save your email collection bar. Turn to the main dashboard, and then we can find the GDPR stuff right here. And so whether you turn it on or off is site-wide, and then you can edit a message per email collection bar to see which one converts best. Then for example, if we turn this on, Okay, so now you kind of want to see how it looks, but the bar disappeared. Why? Well, the bar isn't the default bar. So the email collection bar we just made, we want to make it a primary default bar. And now we can see how it looks. And so, for example, if we turn it on, we can see like the GDPR box, and you can choose whether it's pre-checked or not on load. Now the layout of this isn't super nice, so you would want to go back to the email collection bar, make this text a bit smaller, make the form a bit smaller, and stuff and stuff. But I'm going to keep it off for now, and then the bar looks clean again. Then to the next setting, close duration setting. So when a visitor submits their email, you probably don't want to show the same email collection bar again, because yeah, they just enter an email. But of course, you also don't want to never show the email collection bar again, because it can be helpful. Like let's say they forgot the first time to actually like get the opt-in or something, then you want to be able to like give them another chance to like actually view your emails. So that's why this is a setting. So right now, by default, if a visitor submits their email, they won't see the email collection bars again for 100 page views. And of course, you can change this. Page view high iteration on close. As you can see, the email collection bar has a close button. And so this is like how many page views will someone not see the email collection bar again. So right now this is 30, you can modify this to your own preferences. Page inclusion settings, like on what pages do you want the email collection bars to show or not. So for example, let's say we don't want to show the email collection bar on the contact page, then we choose exclusion because we want to exclude something, not the home page, but a URL. And then you need to like enter the URL string of your website precisely. For example, in this case, contact us. And if I now press activate changes and like turn on the email bar, then the email collection bars won't show on the contact page. Now you can also do, for example, like keywords, and for example, like disclaimer or something. And then this will make sure that every page on your website which has the word disclaimer in the URL will not show an email collection bar, which can be useful in some cases. Yeah. And then checkout URL, let's say you have a Wix store or something, then the Wix checkout page is built kind of weirdly in HTML, so the email collection bar doesn't show as nicely, so you want to make sure your checkout page does not show the email collection bar. And so for most people, the checkout page will just have this URL. If it's different for your website, you do want to modify it. And yeah, that's that. And then on the big boy plan, we also have like A/B tests, which basically means like, oh, you show one bar to one visitor and one other bar to the next visitor, and you alternate it to see which message converts best. And if you keep doing this over time, you will see like nice increase in conversion rates. For example, your first email collection bar might have like 0.5% conversion rate, and then after a few tests, you might get something with like 3% conversion rate or something. And so this can mean a lot of extra money for your business. So yeah, it's a valuable thing if you have enough page views and stuff. If you don't have that many page views, it's probably not worth it to spend your time on that right now, at least like compared to other types of marketing and stuff. So yeah. First of all, if we want to do A/B tests, we need two bars to like test between. So let's create another one. I'm not going to edit anything right now, but you probably want to do. Okay, save it, return to the dashboard. And then we add an email collection bar A/B tests. Of course, easy peasy, which ones we want, because we only have two. Then this is again like informal test name. Which name do you want to give it? These two these are also for internal use only, and it's more like a memo. So, oh yeah, we started this A/B test then and ended it then, but it doesn't yet influence like on the front end when the A/B test shows or not. So for example, I want to remember that it's like from 1 September to 30th September, but this won't actually like make the A/B test stop showing on this date. Extra information also like, oh, I wanted to test whether people prefer marketing tips or conversion rate tips. Again, just like information for you, like why did I do this A/B test? And if you do a lot of A/B tests, this can be important. So yeah, of course, no stats yet because we haven't started showing A/B tests, save A/B test settings. And now this, like the main dashboard dummy bar right here shows what shows on your website. And so right now it's still only like this default bar. Why is that? Because we haven't turned on the A/B testing setting. When you turn this on and like press activate changes, then you will start to like test between these two bars. And so we also need to set this to primary, by the way, and then turn it on. Yes, okay. And now we can see this is what will show on the front end. One visitor will get this one, this other visitor will get this one. And so you need to make sure you set it to priority and turn on A/B testing for the A/B tests to work. And we are going to turn off the GPR stuff. And so now we are ready to turn on the test and see whether the email collection bar works on our website. So we turn it on, activate changes. Settings saved successfully. Go to home. Like this. Wait for the page to load, and we see our first email collection bar, which means it works, and we reload the page. And the other page, like the other email collection bar shows. So our A/B test is running, our email collection bars are up and running, and so basically we set up an email collection bar in a relatively short amount of time. And again, like this can turn more visitors into email subscribers, which is usually like very valuable for your business, for your Wix website. So you probably want to test out the email collection bar and see what the conversion rates look like for you. If you don't like the results, you can always cancel the free trial and then you basically pay nothing to run an important test. So it's highly recommended that you check out the app. And that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it.